is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show on Talk Radio 790 KABC. I'm Karl Gerber, a real workplace lawyer, and someone just popped in my office.
Mr. Gerber, you're a religious discrimination lawyer. The Rhemus Helms cosplay ostrich rants need your help. Sun Valley, California needs your help.
I've handled quite a few religious discrimination lawsuits in my day, Rhemus Helms.
Then you'll represent me once again, like you did in '94 when my genital got infringed.
I'm really sorry that I wasn't there for you in those tender times, and I've never represented your legal interests, and I don't want to.
Fine. Have it your way. Have it your way. You won't get a copyright claim for that. I made it up before that moist, slick, very slippery New York ad agency took it to the buns.
I can't sit around here at midnight and rehash content from earlier shows of the Karl Gerber with the K channel on YouTube.
I'm telling you, she's giving Sun Valley, California a bad name. Giving religion a bad name.
Since this is a conservative talk radio station and most of my listeners are from the Bible Belt, perhaps we should dive right into this issue, penetrate it from all angles.
You mean take it on a test drive?
Well, who is she? What is this religious issue and how does it relate to Sun Valley, California, other than the fact that you are the most important man of Sun Valley, California?
Naturally, as the most important man of Sun Valley, California. It is my obligation as the most important citizen in Sun Valley, California, and the largest landholder, the only owner of a mile-long bed. Yes, the ranch has become quite an obnoxious tourist attraction. Droves of people not wearing face masks in roofless buses, all hoping to catch a glimpse of the Yoni lady who can see the words there anymore. Where's Cindy D masquerading as Mistress Luba?
Oh, get to it. This is only a half-an-hour show.
I'm sure you've been following the story about the church in Sun Valley that has defied orders and holds indoor services.
Oh, yes, of course. That's been all over the news. But seriously, the church it's barely even in Sun Valley. I mean, almost in North Hollywood.
I can't have it anymore.
Oh, this is too controversial. We can't get into whether places of worship have to be shut down for congregation during a health pandemic. I mean, that is killing so many minorities and older people.
No, the real reason the government filed briefs to get that injunction was...
The city of Los Angeles and the governor filed papers to get a preliminary injunction to immediately stop the church from defying orders because they feel the problem creates irreparable harm, widespread, and injury. They can't wait for an injunction hearing later. Now there's an injunction.
Right. When we spoke in '94, you told me you would have to get an injunction in the Southern District of California, in other words, San Diego, to stop the unauthorized sale of those not very good copies of my genital.
Oh, yes. It's actually the same thing we're talking about now.
What? The church and my genital? Now, Mr. Gerber, it may be that the entire world can identify my thing by only partial sight. Seriously, I won't get into one of those John Lennon things. Yeah, surely the Bible is more important than my...
I was merely referring to the injunction process that can be used to stop an unauthorized mold of a genital in a sex toy being manufactured. And it can be used to stop a religious organization from doing something illegal.
I'd have to argue an injunction can be used for a lesser-known bedroom toy replica. Mine, yes. Nazuki or the Cindy D sex robots, yes.
It's called equal protection under the law. Sex toys can be enjoined if irreparable harm is caused, just like if a lot of people are likely to get sick and die. Now, I don't know if anyone has actually gotten sick from that church, but I have heard singing in church due to the amount of respiration and proximity to the choir members have caused widespread infection.
I'm telling you, Mr. Gerber, it isn't a religious issue.
Oh, good, because religion is important to a lot of people, Rhemus Helms.
I'm telling you, she's the problem.
Who?
The lines on this building, the 45-degree angles, the slope of the parapet. You don't see this kind of 70s architecture enough anymore.
Who is she?
She's a problem.
She's about ready to make love to the stucco on the outside of my building.
Normally, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Well, then why is this night different than every other night?
Because you will recline on the mile-long bed at my ranch today?
Oh, we've clearly lost all of the Christian and Jewish listeners.
Would it be okay if I touched your ceiling?
I didn't know you liked drywall.
The drywall is so smooth.
What is it? She's got a thing with buildings?
She has an objectum problem.
She objects too much? Oh, now it's coming back to me. She was a defense lawyer where the judge sicked a discovery referee on her because every word out of her mouth was an invalid objection.
Objectum! Objectum! Are you a lawyer?
Former. Before my condition came for the bridge.
You know, I don't want her on my show. She's already wasted enough of my time.
Mr. Gerber, who is sponsoring this show?
The Helms Foundation.
And you promised me 5 minutes on this show every 3 months.
Well, I do say your time is up, Rhemus Helms.
Objectum. OS, that is.
Operating system?
She's the reason they're trying to get an injunction on that church.
Really?
That church, the one on Roscoe Boulevard. The triangular slabs of 14-inch dark stained wood in the back of the choir. I can't stay away from those angles.
How about those thick wooden beams on the ceiling?
Remus, how could you? Gentlemen, I have to excuse myself.
She's heading towards a latrine on the balcony where Rhemus Helms referrals have to meet me at midnight on Fridays, and they must sit on the latrine.
Mr. Gerber, she's drawing the curtains.
Dignity! I'd hope she would at least, well, she's courteous. I mean, we can't have her using the bathroom inside here. That stays in the toilets for 96 hours.
I couldn't take it anymore. I was overcome by the semi-smooth stucco on your building, Mr. Gerber. Rhemus Helms talking about the exposed wood in the church.
You know, this is just plain weird.
Well, the mayor sees it that way, too. And the governor.
What's she got to do with the church? Is she a member?
It's a non-denominational super church. A wonderful radio evangelist led the service. Before the pandemic, after a hearty meal of ostrich eggs and granola, good Danish cheese, too. I often drove over there with the McDonald's girl. Pumpkinhead is my driver, as you know. Sunday morning service is there for a little inspiration.
Was it known that you went there?
We tried to keep a low profile. Didn't want to attract the wrong elements. Then Nazuki started tagging along. And when I stood up, everybody realized it was Rhemus Helms.
How does Objectum fit in?
Naturally, she followed when the paparazzi started selling pictures to the newspapers and magazines of me at the church with the yoni lady on one arm, Mizuki on my back, and Mistress Lubov on the other arm.
I hated Objectum. She got sanctioned $114,000 and had to report those sanctions to the state bar, even though they were discovery sanctions. Maybe the court made an exception and fined her under 177.5 for violating a court order. Wait, she's coming back into the building. She can't.
I've almost completely forgiven you, Mr. Gerber. The forgiveness will be complete if you let me sleep with your building.
Oh, this is unseemly. This is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show, and Rhemus Helms is on tonight. Call me at the office at 877-525-0700 for a real employment lawyer. 877-525-0700. That's me, Karl Gerber. We'll be back in one moment.
Like losing my religion.
Were you done wrong by your employer? Call 877-525-0700. Since 1993, the Employment Lawyers Group has successfully represented employees in wrongful termination, sexual harassment, employment discrimination, and unpaid wage lawsuits, including class actions. They are only paid when and if money is collected from the employer. Call 877-525-0700 during the week for an experienced job lawyer. 877-525-0700.
Hey y'all, this is Lee Bryce. During this crisis, homeless veterans are alone, often sleeping in nothing more than a piece of cardboard. You have the power to move them from cardboard to headboard, and we need to act now. Help veterans matter. Move more homeless heroes from the streets back into their own home by visiting cardboard2headboard.org. They're not alone. They have you.
It's like an FM morning show with substance.
In other news,
Armstrong and Getty, morning 6 to 10, just before Larry O'Connor.
it's like 10% as good.
Oh! On AM 790 KABC.
If there's something strange underneath your hood, it don't look good. Who you gonna call? Leon Kaplan!
Healing your wheels for 40 years. The Motorman, Leon Kaplan. Sunday mornings at 8 on AM 790 KABC.
Let the midnight special shine.
Talk Radio 790 KABC. Listen to the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. I'm Karl Gerber, and I'm a real workplace lawyer. Rhemus Helms is here, and a woman with a strange sexual disorder. Rhemus, get this objection woman out of here!
Okay, I'll go out on the balcony. I'll be able to touch the stucco and admire the roof line.
What is her problem?
Objectum sexuality. OS, sexual orientation, which has received little attention in the academic literature. Individuals who identify as OS experience emotional, romantic, and or sexual feelings towards inanimate objects, like a bridge or a statue.
Oh, she's one of those. An objectophilia.
No, Mr. Gerber. You're saying it like it's a bad thing.
Well, I thought it was the downfall of religion.
If left untreated, it can take over somebody's life.
I'm just not following this.
The mayor, the governor, everybody. They think she's giving the church a bad name. She's coming in the middle of services, stroking the walls. She's got a thing with the pattern of the wood back there. Oh, no, not back there. That way. In back of the choir, on the wall.
Can we get her help? She can come out of this illness. She can return to a normal life. Maybe not as a lawyer. I mean, I hope not as a lawyer.
I'm one step ahead of you. I've brought the San Fernando Valley East Yellow Pages from '94. Very very phone book you were in when I called you at 818-783-7300. You didn't even have the 877-525-0700 number back then. Just 818-783-7300. People call him during the week. He's a real employee lawyer.
It's hard to talk for these masks, I know. I mean, but yes, I have always kept that winter of 1994 phone book. The first 3/4-page ad I ever had. And the ad that caused Rhemus Helms to call me in 1994. Only for me to reject his case right then and there.
Let our fingers do the walking.
I heard that. I'm one step beyond.
I never knew this building could excite somebody like that.
Man, this looks like a good ad. He's smoking a pipe, just like when I played Sigmund Freud. Or was it the Flea Monster in 14 Inches of Paradise? That one I played too.
I think whoever advertised in this 1994 phone book might not still be available.
Well, we'll see. You're still around.
But it's past midnight. What kind of a psychiatrist answers his phone at midnight?
I have a real good feeling about this guy here with the pipe. The thing is done with a pipe. All consensual, of course.
I'm dialing. I can't have anyone else touching my phone these days, especially Cindy D. Is anybody there? Hello?
I am happy you're happy. The receiver's happy whenever Cindy D is on the line.
You know Cindy D?
Oh, yes, she's the most famous English-speaking landline phone sex operator in the world.
I knew he'd be the right one. Doctor, have we ever met before?
Is that Rhemus Helms? We met a long, long time ago on the set of the 14-inch Itch.
Oh, gosh, that was 1975. That's when I developed the lottery scratcher.
Well, perhaps it's best that I let the two of you get reacquainted while Objectum is out on the balcony enjoying the night air and the stimulating lines of the Employment Lawyers Group's main office.
Come now, Mr. Gerber. Not here. She's already doing that on your balcony. I mean, don't run out on us now. I'm sure you have a question for the doctor.
Oh, yes, doctor. Are you a ska fan?
Lunatics have taken over the asylum.
Ska? What's that?
I don't really have anything to add to this other than some strange woman followed Rhemus Helms into my law office, and she's having multiple climaxes over the features of my building.
But of course, an objectum disorder, depending on the cause. It may or may not be treatable.
Doctor, for the sake of religion, Sun Valley, California, can you come down here? See if she's treatable.
An objectum disorder is a very, very tricky thing. Once a patient latches onto a feature of an inanimate object, say, Mr. Gerber, do you have planters on your front balcony?
Well, as a matter of fact, I do.
How many planters do you have?
I don't know, like 5 or 6 of them, maybe more.
I'll be right over.
That was weird. I hope he doesn't come here. I'm going to lock the doors.
Hey, why are you locking the doors?
He's here!
Oh, I can imagine letting the rough stucco in. One piece of stucco at a time.
Rhemus, do something!
Oh, fine. I'll go out on the balcony.
Keep a 6-foot distance!
It's a shame they have to wear face masks on the ranch. They can't even kiss.
How did the doctor get out up on the balcony?
Remember, Mr. Gerber, you have a ladder and an ADA accessible lift. You are a disability discrimination lawyer.
Where are the planters? There aren't any on this balcony. You said that you had 5 to 6 planters, maybe more.
He's a building freak, too!
Mr. Gerber, get me off this balcony.
Oh, my! Rhemus Helms has been outmatched by a bunch of weirdos. These two are even too strange for Rhemus Helms.
I remember this guy. He got arrested for raping a bridge.
This is completely unseemly!
Bridges, London bridges falling down I go.
Now, the ADA accessible elevator is working.
You're stuck! And now you know how it felt when those men got stuck in the not very accurate, unauthorized Cindy D sex robot.
Oh, why did they destroy the 6th Street Bridge? It was my first love.
Mr. Gerber, I'm having a bout of arthritis. I can't get this ladder down.
I'm gonna get arrested for all the obscene things going on my balcony!
Mr. Gerber, I'm fully clothed.
Rhemus Helms is trying to climb the stucco wall right now. Rhemus, be careful! Oh, no! Pieces of stucco are falling off!
Oh, little pieces of stucco. So many pieces of stucco.
Oh, yes, isn't this satisfying, man? It's a miracle.
Mr. Gerber, throw me a rope.
Okay, I have one in the diesel truck out in the parking lot. Catch!
No. Lasso my thing.
I most certainly will not!
Oh, you're right. You don't have enough insurance.
The only way to get off that balcony is to open the door to the office.
It's all my fault, Mr. Gerber. I brought them here. I have too much respect for you to let them ruin your stucco. The ceiling, the doors, who knows what objects they will start fantasizing over next.
Oh, God, does this mean they'll keep coming back to this building and they'll be obsessed with its architectural features?
I think that's how it works, Mr. Gerber.
The only thing I can think of is Cindy D. No, maybe Reverb.
Get her here fast. On your phone. Anything.
Here I go. Dr. D, I know I'm calling at a late hour, but I need to ask for Reverb.
Now, Mr. Gerber, don't be shy.
Reverb, we need your help.
Suspended bridges. Post-tension cables. Lots of tension. Tighten the cable too much and it pops.
Tell them there's some bridge or wall somewhere nearby.
The bus stop. Concrete feet of concrete. Hard, recast concrete feet underneath the bus bench.
Where?
The other side. Dixie Canyon. A recast concrete bench. Indestructible. Can't be broken.
They're jumping off the balcony! Hurry up, everyone!
Be careful.
Oh, the rush of adrenaline prepares our bodies for all the fall. We'll be okay. Hey, lady, don't get there first. I want the bench all to myself.
No, I'm really sorry about this, Mr. Gerber.
Imagine that, guests brought in by Rhemus Helms, and they're too much even for Rhemus Helms.
Maybe she'll fall in love with that bench and stay out of my church.
No, the bench is just on the other side of the street from my office.
Lunatics have taken over the asylum.